So what do you want here? You want an opening statement, or you just want to ask questions? Oh, I usually just answer questions because your media usually has a lot of them, so it's up to you.
Talk about how good Sarah's been. I mean, all season, but these last two games to get 2 wins against ranked teams on the road and her performance.
She should be National Player of the Week. She should be National Player of the Week. 30 and 27 in road games against top 25 opponents, and 23 in the second half today. She also had 4 assists in the second half, and we probably missed a couple that should have been assists. So I thought she was phenomenal playing downhill, and especially basically playing the whole way, 2 games in a row. But she's growing up. She's growing up. I said it at Oklahoma, that she wasn't even Robin last year for us. And so to be Batman, it's a big jump. And, she's starting to see kind of the fruits of the labor. Like, she was trying. She was trying against Michigan. She was trying against Maryland. But what she doesn't understand sometimes, and she's starting to understand, is that she can balance shooting the step back with putting downhill pressure, drawing fouls, getting to the rim, and finishing. And I think early in the season, she just wanted to shoot step backs. And now I think her drives can then set up her step back. So just really proud of her. I mean, even down to, we just didn't take possessions off. We didn't take possessions off tonight. And her rundown block of Holly on that steal on the sideline was as good as any play we had tonight. And maybe that wouldn't have given them life, but I can tell you we had a 7-0 run to win the game in here last year where we pulled victory out of, despair. And so, you're just nervous until that buzzer goes off.
What were your points of emphasis when you were going into this game, and how do you assess the way you executed them?
Yeah, we executed at a high level. We knew we needed to play downhill against them. I actually thought Oklahoma State, even though they didn't win the game, their guards did a really good job of getting paint touches. So offensively it was playing downhill. They're actually a really good ice team, and so we wanted to play in as many step-ups as we could, as many flat ball screens so they couldn't ice us. And so I thought we did that well. We started to center the ball in the middle a little bit more to give us options. Defensively, it was one shot. This team is ranked 7th in the country in rebounding, and we're not. And so, for us to win the rebounding battle by 14 tonight just kind of shows, how tough we were, how much we took, the box out part of it and pursuing the ball. This is, when you look at Kansas, as good as they've been offensively and defensively, they don't assist on a high percentage of their baskets. And they forced us to play to a lot of, downhill individual stuff as well, where we're first in the league in assisted baskets. We want to attack, find open people, make the extra pass. They're really a downhill team, offensive rebounds, stuff around the rim. And so we just wanted them to score over us. And for the most part, we did that. We probably fouled a little bit too much, and not necessarily in total number, but kind of the fouls that you don't want, 84 feet from the basket, 40 feet from the basket. But I thought for the most part it was give them one shot, take care of the basketball, which we did in the second half, and play downhill. Those were our biggest keys.
You said give them one shot, but you only gave Jackson 4 shots the whole game.
Yeah.
That's the fewest she's had this year.
Yeah, that's Caitlin. I mean, Caitlin had her the majority of time because even though Caitlin got in foul trouble, Jackson got in foul trouble right after, next possession. So we only had to battle one of our freshmen against her for 2 or 3 possessions. And Caitlin just does a good job of using her lower body strength. That they got the lob a couple times on us, but for the most part, we gave her one shot. She's been relentless. I actually did, before we played Arizona, and it wasn't relative to Kansas, it was relative to, hey, we can still rebound on Arizona even though they're a good rebounding team, because she annihilated Arizona single-handedly on the boards. And she swims. And, I thought a year ago she took possessions off. This year, she's not taking possessions off, And so I just really thought that she was a key, that their guards were going to get some. I thought Mayberry really was a catalyst for them. That's probably, her best game of the year. And she kind of kept them afloat. And you don't want to get in like 2 and 4 point games with Franklin late because she's so good driving in either way and using the glass, and you're between her and the basket. She makes tough shots. And so, we wanted to keep that cushion to where she couldn't, play into that.
Nicki, how happy are you with this Big 12 start, considering, you've got to play people a lot of minutes because of injuries and other things.
Yeah.
And Brendan said you guys were by far the team with the more energy today. So how?
It's crazy, right? I think that, one, we're pretty well conditioned, our guards especially. I think Jaden sets the tone defensively for us, and when she puts ball pressure on, and she's pretty tireless. Jamie's pretty tireless getting around screens, and Sarah just got better as the game went along. I just, going into this week, I said and I know, I said this on the radio, and I know, this is going to be crazy for people to think about Baylor this way, and I understand that, but when you're going on the road and facing 2 top 25 opponents who haven't lost at home yet, Oklahoma had only lost at Utah on a back-to-back at altitude, and Kansas had only lost, in a double overtime game at Nebraska. And so you're facing 2 confident teams on the road. I thought if we could go on the road and steal one of them, we would feel really, really good and put ourselves in really good position. To come in here and pretty much lead tip to finish says a lot about our toughness. And I've challenged them going into this week about how we've got to get tougher. I tore a tendon in my finger in a toughness drill demonstrating. I put heavy balls out and started smacking them, and they had to hold them while I was showing them how to do it, and I tore a tendon in my finger and had to pretend that it didn't happen so that I didn't look like an idiot. But this idea of we've got to pursue the ball, we got to be the first to the floor, we've got to get, we got to make good, tough plays because we're not bigger. We are faster than a lot of the teams we play, and so we got to use our speed, and I just felt like we consistently played faster than them, and when we decided to play downhill, we looked really good. And honestly, that's probably the best. The second half execution out of timeouts, we dialed up some really good stuff coming out of the halftime. All of our timeouts, I think we scored on every ATO. And that's fun as a coach. I love a clipboard. Everything was new or different or a tweak or and so, when you execute like we did, it means we're dialed in. It means we're really paying attention to what we're supposed to do walking out. And that's a big jump for us. It really is a big jump.
Did you ever tear a tendon while you were playing?
Huh?
Did you ever tear a tendon while you were playing?
No.
Okay.
No. This was just being, smacking a heavy ball, one of those decisions you regret after, but it seemed like a good idea at the time.
What have you, I know this has been a kind of a challenging week for Dre.
Yeah.
What have you told her, obviously, if nothing changes, about Macon? Because it seems like she's made the best of her situation so far, but just sort of dealing with it emotionally for the rest of the season and what she can still bring to the team.
Yeah, I think what people have to understand is that Dre was not a bad student at Kentucky. I think this idea that we've been talking about, her academic progress, Baylor isn't the only school like this. KU might be the same way. We have a 60-hour rule. So when she left Kentucky, she had almost 100 hours. So she transfers to Baylor and loses 40 hours in the transfer. 40. You can only transfer 60. Baylor has this expectation, and I think they're right, that if they're going to give you a degree from Baylor, that you're getting over half of your credits from Baylor. So for her to get progress towards degree, that's why she had to work so hard in the classroom to get 33 hours, to put herself in position where this sign-off was a reality. This sign-off was a reality. And I will say wholeheartedly that, when Dre went into the portal, we absolutely called Kentucky to ask about her character. And we are 100% understand NCAA rules, 100% understand the NCAA rules. We weren't asking, those questions. We weren't told anything. We just know she doesn't qualify for a one-time transfer exception. She's not a grad transfer, so we're going to need some help. We knew we were going to need some help. We just weren't going to dive in hard until she could meet the academic progress requirements. So that's why we're sitting here today. You know, she's a kid that wants to play, that's worked her tail off. We just want her to have an opportunity to play. It's that simple, you know. And they have a right not to sign it. They have a right not to sign it. I'm just, you know, it's just discouraging when you see a kid do what she's done, accomplish what she's accomplished in the classroom, you know, to not have that opportunity. You know, you only get a finite amount of time to play this game. And it's about the kids. It's about these kids and their growth and opportunity. And so, you know, Dre and I had conversations when in this transfer. Hey, Dre, it's easier for you to stay at Kentucky. It is 100% easier for you to stay at Kentucky. Coach, I want to be at Baylor. Okay, this is what it's going to take. This is what we have to do. It's not going to be easy. But worst case scenario, you're going to sit a year to play a year, and we're going to get you ready for that 1 year. And so she just has to get in this mode that we're getting her ready for next year. Do we want that to be the case for her? Absolutely not. Do I think she deserves to play this year? Absolutely. I have no problem saying that. But for us, it's about working on her ball handling. She wants to, you know, she's not going to be a 5 if she's trying to play at the next level. So, you know, yes, she can play a 5 at this level, but we got to continue to develop her perimeter skills. We've had her run the point on the scout team while our guys have been gone over break. We've had her play on the wing. She was Holly Kerskeeter this week. You know, so, you know, we're just going to continue to work with her on the things that she needs to be better to get herself ready for the next level, to get herself ready for next year and then the next level, and, you know, to get a degree, a really, really important degree, and to graduate from Baylor by this summer. So that's what we're going to focus on.
Is there some, I know this is, it's tough because she wants to play, she's healthy. Is the silver lining you're looking for that you are able to work with her on a lot of different skills, and she can bring stuff to you guys in practice, you know, and the other things that she brings, even though she's not able to play?
Yeah, I mean, her energy is infectious. She's a really good teammate. You know, there are kids that play for the likes and for the attention and for the accolades and for the stuff, you know, because these kids are given a lot of stuff. And they work their tails off. Dre loves to play basketball. She's a hooper. You know, there's some kids that play and they care about basketball, but they don't necessarily love it. They're just good at it. And that doesn't mean they're not hard workers, but Dre loves. She's just like a straight hooper. You know, I've described her as like the old guy at the park that you pick first just because she's not great at anything, but she's good at everything. So if you want someone that can score at the rim, you take Dre. If you want someone that can hit a big shot for you, you take Dre. If you want someone that's going to set a screen, you know, she sets screens like Caitlin, you know, and like nobody, we didn't, if there was a stat I could add, I'd add a screen assist, you know. I mean, they're just, they're so important to our game, whether it's a ball screen or a pin down, flare screen. Screening is an art, and, you know, like she's such a good screener. So she's just a great kid and a great teammate. And I'm not saying she's been perfect, and I wasn't perfect when I was 18 or 19 either. And you know, I just believe in the goodness of kids and want to see them keep growing. And so she's just going to keep growing.
Coach, what is the latest for Asia?
What's the what?
For Blackwell. What's the latest on her?
She's day-to-day. She's just day-to-day, you know. You know, and because, quite frankly, she didn't sign on medical release, I can't really speak on the specifics, you know. But we're just not going to bring her back until she's close to 100%. I mean, her future's too important. The way she plays is too physical, too downhill. This isn't a kid that's just going to space the floor and shoot threes. She's going to attack you. She's going to play in the lane. So, you know, this is about protecting her. And whether that's the best thing for me, once again, I believe in protecting kids, you know. Once again, you got a finite amount of time to play this game, and I tell them all you should play it as long as you can play it, because once you hang it up, you're done. And noon ball and adult leagues are not the same as the real thing. So, you know, I mean, I don't care if it's overseas. I don't care if it's Athletes Unlimited. I don't care. Like, I mean, there's plenty of time to be an adult, you know, and I think, you know, it's about extending her career and her being able to make money playing this game someday.